Nope.
White identity is inherently racist. So what you're doing is you're playing a series of word games. You know that critical whiteness studies is a subfield of critical race theory?
No, it's not.
These things are all deeply interrelated.
No, they're not.
And I'm not going to let you play word games. And this is really, I think, the most essential thing.
Hold on. No.
Let me respond at least once. I haven't gotten a full sentence out.
Because I'm not going to let you see. One of the things that, and I don't know, you probably never watched me on TV. Just, we didn't know who each other were, not so long ago. But I don't allow people to just make up and say lies on the show. It's just not really right to do that and let people hear. But hold on.
But
Robin DiAngelo. Wait.
Am I right
Robin
or wrong?
DiAngelo is.
Ladies, shut up! Shut up! Enough already!
And we are back. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're all having a great day. Joyanne Reid and H3H3's Ethan Klein are two of the latest lefty social justice activists, whatever you want to call them, to make themselves look absolutely terrible when it comes to the debate stage. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why. Thank you all for coming back. And listen, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, become a part of the greatest community on the YouTubes. Leave me a thumbs up if you like the video, and let me know in the comments what you guys think. Am I right? Am I wrong? I could be way off here. I'm just a knucklehead that runs my mouth in front of the camera. Real quick though, this is a little different from what I usually do. I needed a mental health day from the woke TikTok insanity. Don't worry. I'm not going to deprive you guys too long. So don't worry about that. I just needed a personal day from that absolute madness. I saw this recently. It reminded me kind of about the whole Ethan Klein H3H3 or whatever it's called thing. And I'll cover that too. It also reminded me of a debate that I made a video about 4 months ago. Somebody on the left, the liberal, whatever you want to call them, social justice activist, whatever you want to call them. These people, they come in unprepared, they scream and holler, they interrupt, they name call, and they make themselves look terrible. So let's dive right in here. So we're going to start off, obviously, with this Joyanne Reid and Christopher Rufo debate that you saw a clip from at the beginning. What a disaster. So what happened was Christopher Rufo, he is, I would say, an expert in CRT, critical race theory, one of the best experts in the country on it. He's from Manhattan Institute. He's a Manhattan Institute senior fellow. So you've got all these people on the left, people like Joyanne Reid, that are saying, oh, CRT is not real. They're not teaching it in schools. Well, they're not saying it's not real, but they're not teaching it in elementary schools or middle schools. It's being taught in some colleges, law schools. They're denying it all, and they're playing word games, exactly what Christopher Rufo says. So she's talking about him on her show quite a bit. Christopher Rufo says, listen, why don't you have me on your show for a debate instead of just getting up there and talking about me? Have me on for a debate. So her response on Twitter was, this is a weird... All he did was ask to come on the show for a debate. Her response: this is a weirdly aggressive way to get yourself on TV, Christopher. Why not just contact my booking producers like a normal person rather than going with the white man demands option? She's one of these people that turns everything into race. That just kind of tells you a little about her character right there. I had never heard of you until at _1_ piece exposing your plot to rebrand CRT. So Christopher Rufo responds, I'm not demanding anything. I'm challenging you to a debate about critical race theory. The real question is, are you going to accept this or not? I didn't think she would accept. A lot of people didn't think she would accept. She accepted. She did no research as to who Christopher Rufo was. She just talked a bunch of smack about him. Didn't know who he was. Didn't know his credentials. Didn't know anything about him. This is how our show started. I'm going to get my big head out the way so you guys can see. And she calls him, in this clip, a political operative. Roll the film.
Raucous school board meetings are one result of a national campaign by political operatives to eradicate curriculums on racial and other forms of equity, which, mind you, is not the same thing as critical race theory. One of those operatives, critical race theory opponent, Christopher Rufo, joins me now. And Christopher, thank you so much for making some time to be with us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start out and do the elephant in the room. So you and I started off on a little bit of a Twitter beef. I talked about you. I quoted you in an article that one of our great journalists here at NBC had quoted you in a piece, and I quoted that on TV. And then you tweeted that you wanted to come on the show and said, I didn't have the courage to put you on. Now, I will just note that Twitter is a hyperbole zone. So, whatever. It's all water under the bridge. But I just want to just get to a couple of little factual things. Why would I need courage to have you on? Are you like an expert in, race or racial history? Are you a lawyer? Are you a legal scholar? Is that part of your background?
Yeah, I'm a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, where I'm running their initiative on critical race theory. And the reason that I reached out on Twitter to you, and I appreciate you having me on, I enjoy this kind of...
Okay, so you heard that, you saw that. She had no idea what his credentials were or anything, and you think that's something she might have looked up to, just to get an idea who she was going to be talking to. Now, let me show you real quick. This is the MSNBC YouTube page. Look at their title, Joy Reid School's critical race theory critic on legal scholarship. She doesn't school him. She made a fool of herself. And if you look at the thumbs up to thumbs down ratio, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make it bigger here. Now, keep in mind, this is MSNBC's YouTube page. 1.8 thousand, so 1,800 thumbs up, 13,000 thumbs down. 1,800 thumbs up, 13,000 thumbs down. Usually you see something like that, that tells you something. That tells you what the people think. All right, so let's listen to a few more clips of this disastrous debate. Check this out. Roll it.
Is taught in law schools. I didn't attend law school, which is where critical race theory is taught. It's really the only place it's taught. NBC has looked into everywhere, and it's not taught in elementary school. But hold on a second. This is the second thing he said, which is strange to me that you...
Let me respond. This is not a monologue. This should be a dialogue, right? Am I right?
It's my show, so it's how I want to do it. So let me read you one more quote.
What the fuck is this?
Well, what it is Joy Reid's show. So she's not going to let Christopher Rufo get a word in edgewise. Now listen to Christopher here. He's just asking to be able to get a full paragraph out.
Sure, and I think this is an important point, and I hope you let me actually get a full paragraph out about this.
Go for it.
But of course, she doesn't.
I think that we should fight race essentialism. But the problem is that critical race theory enshrines race essentialism.
But you
see it in schools. And I'll give you 3 examples of critical race theory being taught in schools.
Hold on one second.
In Cupertino, California.
These are in your talking points, sir. Chris, these are in your talking points, and I know what you're going to say because you said it with Mark Lamont Hill. You repeat these same things. They're in this manifesto. People can read it online. Let me just go for a second. On the subject of whiteness,
So then she just rambles on for a minute, goes on and pulls up some old video clips about, Chris Rufo talking, and then tries to use that against him. Roll it.
Really just having a campaign to take everything that annoys white Americans and white conservatives.
No, that's not right.
You want to make a campaign and stuff everything in there.
You played my highlight reel. You played my highlight reel. Give me a chance to respond.
And you want to stuff it all into critical race theory, right?
What I don't think is right is that forcing 8-year-olds in Cupertino, California to deconstruct their racial identities and then rank themselves according to power and privilege. It's intersectionality theory, which was invented by Kimberly Crenshaw.
It's a separate thing.
Intersectionality is a separate thing.
No, it's not, dear.
You had her on your show. You know this.
Yeah, she invented
and
both things. Here's the bottom line, Joy. She invented both things.
What you've done in tonight's segment is exactly what I'm fighting against. I'm fighting against the manipulation of language. I'm fighting against language.
You're fighting against wokeness, and you don't like corporate wokeness,
et cetera. I get euphemistic terms with subversive content. Because otherwise, you just say whatever you want, and then you back away from it, and you dance around it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Parents all over this country, they know what's happening in schools. They know what's happening in their public institutions. And you're seeing people revolt against this divisive identity politics. And you can dance all you want, but you're not going to stop people from understanding what's happening in their classrooms.
I actually appreciate that you said that, because, Christopher, what you basically, and you admit it yourself, that you've taken all of these sort of wokeness moments, corporate wokeness, corporate sort of woke money, woke capital, the things that annoy conservatives, and you've stuffed it all into the name critical race theory. It's really like, it's like Christopher Rufo theory.
Are you stupid or something?
This lady's arguments are horrible. All right, and this is how she ends it. Watch this. Roll it.
No, not at all. The idea of the codification and decodification of language comes from the critical pedagogist Paulo Freire. And my strategy is to take these...
Now you're doing pedagogy, Christopher?
Yes.
Come on.
To take these techniques and use them against their own ideology. And I'll tell you, Joy, my strategy has been enormously successful. According to The Economist...
Just watch how condescending she is. Hang on.
Take these techniques and use them against their own ideology. And I'll tell you, Joy, my strategy has been enormously successful. According to The Economist magazine poll, 64% of Americans now know what critical race theory is.
No, they know what Christopher Rufo theory is.
Of which 58% of them
you made up your own thing, bro. You made, my friend, you made up your own thing. You admitted you were going to do it. And I'm going to give you credit for one thing. You did create your own thing. Not a lot of guys in their 30s have created their own thing, labeled it something that already existed as a name, slapped that brand name on it, and turned it into a successful political strategy. You've done that. It's creating a lot of hell at school board meetings, but you did accomplish that. So, Christopher Rufo, thank you, man. Thank you for being here.
Well,
really
Joy, I appreciate it. And I'll give you the position as the most prestigious Christopher Rufo theory scholar in the world. I hope next time you give me at least a chance to complete 2 sentences. I think it'll be a lot more fun.
Well, not if you're going to do talking
again
points.
Next time.
They were your talking points. So people can read your talking points online because they're online as well. You can read all of them. Thank you very much, Christopher.
He's an angry elf.
So okay. Listen, I'm going to put a link to that debate in the box down below if you want to watch the whole thing. Obviously, I just played little clips, but that was pretty much the whole thing. So you got all kinds of tweets like this. I'm just going to show you one real quick, and then we'll move along. So Andy No, who is a journalist, author, you guys probably know him. He covers Antifa. He's got a book exposing Antifa, #1. It's on the New York Times bestseller list, I do believe. Anyway, Andy No's not a conservative, big right-wing guy, Republican, anything like that. He's a Portland liberal. He's Asian. He's gay. He's not some big conservative like people think he is. He's just not. He says, going on a hostile show where the racist host and her producers in the control room are there to ambush is no easy task. At Real Chris Rufo showed that at Joyanne Reid only have "it's my show" and interruptions as responses when called out to her face. And he nailed it. He's absolutely right. I said in the beginning, Christopher Rufo went there with statistics, with knowledge, with facts. He knew what he was talking about, and he laid it out. All she could do was interrupt. No. Act condescending. It's my show. It's my show. This is how I'm going to do it. And pull up old clips of Chris talking. That was, and this, it says down here from the Post-Millennial. Watch, Christopher Rufo debates Joy Reid on critical race theory, or at least that was the idea. Reid asked questions. Then when Rufo tried to answer, she interrupted him, corrected him, and accused him of whatever else it says there. That was an absolute disgrace for her appeal to try to make people believe that critical race theory isn't being taught in schools. We all know it is. She's trying to make her audience believe that it's not. I mean, you see it right there. She just proved herself wrong. I mean, I guess good for her for having him on the show, but he didn't get to say anything basically. So, I mean, when teachers are saying they're mad because they're not allowed to teach critical race theory to their students, Joyanne Reid, there you have it.
This is what's bullshit. Today is the first time our country has recognized Juneteenth. It's a national holiday, and yet I'm getting ready to go back to school in the fall, and my governor has put into place some ridiculous legislation that many governors across the country have put into place, such as I can't teach anything divisive, I can't teach critical race theory, and I can't teach about racial equity.
There you have it, Joyanne Reid, straight from the horse's mouth. I mean the teacher's mouth. Okay, all right. So anyway, that happened. That was a disgrace. Looked terrible for the left, the social justice activists, whatever they are, the people that are trying to make everyone else believe that critical race theory doesn't exist or is not being taught in school. Terrible look. Another thing that happened real recently, and this will be a short segment here, is Ethan Klein from the H3H3 podcast. I'm not familiar with this. I've never heard of Ethan Klein up until this stuff started happening. Apparently, has a very successful YouTube channel, has made himself very successful, wealthy. Good for him. Congratulations to you, sir. What happened with this? Quick backstory in case you don't know. Ethan's wife, I believe, was at a comedy show somewhere outside, had 2 masks on her face, apparently. Joe Rogan happened to see it. I think this is what happened. And on Joe Rogan's podcast, he said something about her outside wearing 2 masks and kind of, took a jab at her or something. Ethan Klein went on his H3H3 podcast and was saying said something like, bro, they tell us what to do. The CDC tells us what to do. Why even question it? It's like, huh? You don't question anything the government tells you? Okay, all right, whatever, if that's your position. So Steven Crowder heard that. Crowder may, kind of, poked a little bit of fun on that on Louder with Crowder. Ethan went back. They went back and forth. So Crowder said, listen, I'm not doing this YouTube drama. Do you want to have a debate? You come on the show. I'll go on your show. We'll have a debate. We'll talk. You tell me what you think is, what you think is the correct thing to do in that situation. We'll discuss it like 2 men. All right. Well, nobody thought that Ethan would accept, kind of like with Joy Reid. Nobody thought that she would accept Christopher Rufo coming on her show. Nobody thought Ethan would accept it. Well, he did. He sent Crowder a DM or something saying he would accept. Well, he pulled something worse than what Joy Reid did. So in case you missed it, this is them getting Crowder's show, Crowder's team getting him ready, set up for the debate, and they're getting Ethan Klein and H3H3 team set up, sound checks and all that. So check this out. Roll it.
I bet this guy's going to do anything he can to avoid actually debating. Yeah. I think he wants to do anything that he possibly can to avoid.
Yeah, let me know when you want
to. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, when you want me to admit him into the room, I'll just do that.
Sure, well, I'll just say, you guys do the sound check. I don't want to sit there and talk with their producer, Dan, and stuff, but I don't think this guy wants to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's probably going to bring someone else on who's his producer, like a fan of that Cedar character. Yeah, that'd be my bet, but hey, hopefully he mans up. Okay, you can do your sound check.
All right, so you heard Crowder's prediction of what was going to happen. Now I'm just going to play a quick clip of Crowder and Ethan talking before the debate actually starts. Very cordial. Check this out.
Hi, Steven.
Hey, Ethan. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I just want to say on a serious note that I'm glad your wife is okay. I heard you had a little bit of a issue with your wife.
Well, she's pregnant with twins, so
yeah.
It's like well, by the way, congratulations too. I know you guys are
Thank you.
In the same process. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
They switch
Can you
and
turn
they breach.
down a little bit?
Oh, sorry, am I too loud for you?
I just told Dan, our producer, to turn the volume down a little bit. You're good.
I'm gonna take out my gum.
Yeah,
they switch.
Okay, everything seemed fine. Everything seemed cordial between the two. Now, this is the biggest scumbag move. Roll it.
What's going on, and if you want to do the same, that's fine. But
yeah, of course, okay. We'll let him know.
All right.
Okay.
I will go. And
so, all right.
I'll give you a countdown, and then I'll 3, 2. All right. Okay. I'm really glad to have my next guest on the show, and I've always said this. I always respect people who enter into the arena. And, we've had a lot of debates on this show, which is different from like a Change My Mind where we sit down and have conversations. But my old Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach always said, if you come a switch, we go switch. You go spicy, we're going to do a little spicy. So we always try and keep it as respectful as possible. And I really do appreciate the guy making the time because a lot of people has a huge YouTube channel, several YouTube channels, one of the OGs. A lot of people watch him. You know him. Some of you like him. Some of you don't. Same can be said for me. Ethan Klein from H3H3. Ethan, thanks, man, for making the time.
You're very welcome. And I just want to say, I know you called me. You said that I would be a layup.
I think I used something like that. Yeah.
I think you're right because I don't think I'm a very good debater. I think you know that. So I didn't want to make it too easy for you.
Oh, okay.
So I've prepared.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what we were going to talk about is the initial quote that happened. I think he's looking off there. The initial quote that kind of was turned into a little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe. And we talked about this through Playful Ribbing in an aggregation of medical authorities and scientific voices to make an informed and rational decision. So where do you think that I'm wrong on that?
Stephen, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Cedar. What a nightmare.
Thank you, Stephen.
I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, well, Dave, remember I told you? I said I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Well, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with mental health issues. Stephen, Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own fighting.
I got to say.
All right, so you saw that little bait and switch, what a scumbag, such a scumbag movie. He thinks you're a man of your word, and then you bail and bring somebody else on there. Really, Ethan?
How dare you?
Exactly. How dare. And this is just the end. I totally agree with what Crowder says right here. So listen to this. Roll it.
2 is we don't do debates based on a lie. Like I can call out Mike Tyson, I can call out Evander. It doesn't mean anything, right? Yeah. And so when someone says, "Hey, you said you would do this," and you just admitted that of course there's no proof for that. Well, I heard this from so and so. Yeah, but there's no evidence. We can bring up here the direct messages with. I hate to do this, but with Ethan, it was, "Hey, we'll talk, you and I, man to man. No one else will come in." As a matter of fact, I was going to say, if I have my phone, I can take a picture right here. So there's no prompter. It's just him on a call, and he's terrified. I don't know how someone like that can live their life as a man.
All right, so you saw the emails. It said, just run unedited. Obviously, no tricks, no zags, just you and me. I'll make sure, Ethan. Okay, sounds great. Right there. It's right in the emails. He gave him his word. Like, Ian, you gave your word. I think I just called him Ian. Ethan. I don't know who this guy is. Ethan, you gave him your word as a man. No tricks, no zags. And then what do?
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Hey, we'll talk, you and I, man to man. No one else will come in. As a matter of fact, I was going to say, if I have my phone, I can take a picture right here. So there's no prompter. It's just him on a call, and he's terrified. I don't know how someone like that can live their life as a man.
Well, he just also talked very cordially to you about family. Oh, yeah. But what I really hate about that is then he immediately pulled it, which shows no character, no class, a complete manipulation.
Well, but here's the thing. He has a show that's dwindling. No one cares about it. But so then he wants the drama, and I actually want to have a conversation. But I'm not going to have a conversation. Here's my cutoff. A general, serious rule?
Yeah.
1/20th of the audience. Otherwise, I have no time in the day, and I'm debating every Twitter egg.
Well, right. But here's my point of how you win something very, very easily. Your whole point is you're talking about a that you have questions about.
Right.
He claims that something you don't even have to think about. That's a bold statement to make. So when you go to challenge him on that, his side has to explain why he feels that way. So he sneaks in another guy because he doesn't feel that way.
You have a holster, bro.
He's bought and paid for.
You have a holster, bro.
That was his argument.
Bingo. What Dave Landau just said right there, I completely agree with. I don't think that these people really feel this way. I really don't. He just said, Ethan, you're bought and paid for. I don't know if Joyanne Reid. I mean, how did... All right, so that's the end of that one. I got one more. This dragged out way too long, but I got one more clip that I want to talk about from my video I did 4 months ago that reminds me of these people on the left, these, I don't know, liberals, social justice activists, whatever you want to call them. It's always the same thing with them in their debates, it seems like, and it makes them look terrible. You guys might remember this one.
Stone reported, there were at least a dozen or more investigations for criminal activity into Burisma where Joe Biden's son was working, and Biden personally flew out after their PR company reached out to the State Department saying, why are you investigating? Stop this now. Joe Biden goes out there and says, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you ain't getting $1 billion.
No,
Quid pro quo.
I cannot. I'm sorry. I can't.
Those are facts.
I can't stand by while this is.
Those are facts.
No.
What do you contest?
This is complete misinformation.
No, it isn't.
Did you watch a video?
Donald. First of all, Hunter Biden did not earn 1.5.
I didn't say he did.
Was it 1.5?
I didn't say he did.
1.5 billion.
I didn't say he earned any money.
Did you not just say?
I said he was flown in Air Force 2 by Joe Biden to negotiate a $1 billion private equity deal in China. That's a fact.
Now I read about that, and that's definitely not a good look for Hunter Biden. 100%.
Why was Joe Biden using government property to fly his son for private deals in China?
I don't
Whether
know.
they got the deal or not.
It was probably corrupt. It was probably corrupt.
I'd say it was.
I think there's corruption. Again, there's corruption on both sides here. But if I'm forced to choose between Donald
Trump, what's the misinformation?
Well, the misinformation here, I was referring to there's a lot of misinformation about the 1.5 million, but I know you didn't bring that up. 1.5 billion, which that was only like a goal. They were trying to make 1.5 billion in capital.
Attempted murder, still a crime.
And then you said that they
got a $5 million forgivable interest-free loan.
That I actually haven't heard about. But Joe Biden did not get that special prosecutor fired.
You're wrong. You're so wrong.
No,
you are so out of your depth, bro.
No, did you see the video of him talking about it?
It's my understanding that this prosecutor was fired for doing a poor job, and that
you were wrong.
Can we
name the prosecutor?
I don't know.
Exactly. Victor Shokin.
Can we find out? Can we fact
play
check
the video?
Sure. Well, we're not going to play the video of Joe Biden saying, but I'll break it down for you. See, I made a video about this a while back, and Hunter Avalon comes on here, and he's telling these guys it's misinformation, and they actually play the clip for him. He says he does. Here's the last part here. You can't just come on and say it's misinformation, because I've done so much reporting on this.
I just want to know more about whether Joe Biden actually played a role in getting the prosecutor fired.
Oh, okay. Let's play the video.
I don't want to see the video. I want to actually see an article about it.
Do you want to hear Joe Biden say I got him fired because they wanted $1 billion and I held it over their head? So it's just like that, where Hunter Avalon says, well, no, I don't want to see it come right from the horse's mouth. I want to read an article about it. Well, they have proof that's better than an article. So it's like, I don't know what Joyanne Reid thought she was going to accomplish, what Ethan Klein thought he was going to accomplish, what this guy, and props to him for going on there. Props to Joyanne Reid for having Christopher Rufo on there. I don't know what that whole thing with Ethan, but these people aren't helping their cause. You show these videos to anybody that doesn't have anything to do with politics, that doesn't watch any of this stuff, and they're going to say, wow, these people, Joyanne Reid, Ethan Klein, Hunter Avalon, they look like complete fools. So I'm going to wrap it up there. This went on way too long, but thank you guys for checking it out. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these people on the left in these debates. It seems like maybe there's just no points that are good for them to debate, because they can't seem to get anything right. All right, world's gone crazy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time. Peace.